Personally, I believe the more indicators I work on, the more knowledge I have about tsunami preparedness. I'm very keen to now learn about this Tsunami Emergency Operation Plan.
I agree, Azam, but for me, the more I learn, the more I realize that I know so little, and the more I thirst for more tsunami preparedness knowledge.
Yes, after working on the tsunami evacuation map, I feel that I'm an expert on tsunami preparedness. But during the tsunami exercise, I suddenly felt I know very little, especially when colleagues from the Disaster Management Office talked about Emergency Operation Plan, or EOP.
Good morning, Mrs. Urbina.
Good morning. Good to see all of you again. Please have a seat, Azam, Aziza, and Adam. So what can we do for you?
As you may remember, we participated in the National Tsunami Exercise a month ago. During the exercise, you and your other colleagues talked about the Emergency Operation Plan. We understand that one of the Tsunami Ready indicators is for us to have a Tsunami Emergency Operation Plan. We were wondering if your office is willing to help us.
For sure, Azam. Greg, maybe you can start by explaining what the Emergency Operation Plan, or EOP, is.
Sure, ma'am. EOP is a document describing how a community will respond to a potential tsunami hazard. It provides the structure and processes that the community will utilize to respond to an emergency and initially recover from an event. The EOP is therefore the response and recovery component of the emergency management plan. It describes the roles and tasks of the key actors and what she or he should do in case of an emergency. There is also a description of the communities, infrastructure, and resources that are needed to be protected, which can be used during the emergency response and recovery operations.
Wow, that is interesting. Many of us already know what we should do if a tsunami strikes.
Well, maybe as a person you know what you have to do, but the EOP is more than that. The EOP is not about an individual, but more about institutional arrangements that help the community. So there should be an emergency operations center that can be activated and staffed with personnel who can work and coordinate responses during an emergency. For example, the activation of the public warning system, manage and organize evacuation processes, amongst other things.
So, how do we start to develop this plan?
An emergency response plan is developed based on a potential emergency scenario, which refers to your hazard and risk assessment. Understanding what can happen will enable you to determine the resources needed and develop plans and procedures to prepare should a disaster strike.
I think we will need your help. I'm sure we cannot develop the EOP by ourselves.
Don't worry, Adam. A community EOP needs to align with our EOP at the local disaster management office. We also align our EOP with the national EOP. So you don't have to start from zero. You can study our EOP, and then together we can work on your EOP at the community level by identifying the stakeholders, their roles and responsibilities, and the activities and procedures they have to do and follow.
Developing an EOP, you need to involve all the stakeholders. The EOP is a result of intensive teamwork and needs time to prepare. In addition, an EOP needs to be well documented, so we'll work together with you in the next few weeks. Also, your EOP can be for multi-hazards, just like the one we have. But in it, we have special chapters that can specifically address tsunami emergencies. So, you can have a multi-hazard EOP for your community with a tsunami emergency plan contained within it.
Ah, that's good. A multi-hazards EOP will definitely be useful for our community.
Okay, but now let's have a break. I would like to invite all of you to lunch. After that, we can discuss the capacity you need to have to manage emergency response operations during a tsunami.
Yes, learning about EOP makes me hungry.